Hey there, guys! Women versus men is a huge debate that ignites flames all over the world. There are over 1,000 debates on who's better, but the argument never reaches a result. Hence, I thought why not talk about this controversial topic in terms of tennis, because I love making everything about tennis. So today, I'll be talking to you guys about men versus women in tennis. But before I get any further, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe if you haven't already. When it comes to men versus women in tennis, there are many differences. For example, the court doesn't change regardless of who's playing. It stays the same for both men and women alike. However, the court does change for the type of match played on it, whether the match is doubles or singles. Now this is one similarity, and another one is the time played. Both men and women play for the same amount of time. A men's match has the same time a women's match would have. You guys are pretty smart, so you obviously know this one too, but still, I'll clarify it. Women and men also use the same equipment while playing tennis. Yes, there's definitely different types of rackets, but they don't depend on the gender of the player. Rather, they have to do with the player's preference, as some players prefer heavier rackets, but that's just their personal choice, like me and you guys have our own personal choices and preferences. Now if you guys want to know of a difference, I have one for you, which is pretty evident. It's the dress code. The dress code for women is different than that of men. In my opinion, this isn't really much of a difference, as it doesn't have any impact on the game. I love adding to your knowledge, so here's a quick fact. Each event sets its own rules for the matches. Wimbledon has a specific dress code, which is different from the dress code at the Grand Slams. I mean, they make the event happen, so it's pretty fair that they get to make and choose their own rules. Surprisingly, the dress code isn't the only difference. The governing bodies for men's tennis and women's tennis are also different. Men's tennis is governed by the ATP, or Association of Tennis Professionals, and it was established in 1972. The WTA, which is the Women's Tennis Association, was founded a year later in 1973. If I talk about the game itself, these are the only differences. However, if I'm to get into the controversial side, fans claim that men's tennis gets more attention than women's tennis. This was proved by the comparison of the number of spectators at a men's match against the number of spectators at a women's match. But finally, there's been a change in the pattern as the younger generation removes the boundary between men and women and watches the match with equal interest regarding the gender of the player. If I'm to add my perspective here, I feel like sports is for everyone, whether it be a woman or a man, and it should be enjoyed with full equality. Let me know if you guys agree with me in the comments down below.